Hello, everyone. Uh, Welcome to, I guess, Sea Otter Week. This is Zach. Uh, I know I've been receiving a lot of questions about the Taco Bell Century, and I can't answer them all. And Kevin Priscilla probably will, or they're going to have to, because this has gone really deep, and a lot of people are super curious about it. I won't go into my long history with Taco Bell, but if you've lived in California, you know what an important life part it's played in our lives, the value menus, the loving items that have come and gone, going to a establishment and them stop serving breakfast. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. And, if you want to share your emotions, please come in here on our chat on the side. If you happen to be on Facebook and you want to just join in on the chat, please just head over to YouTube. We got a little comment section there. And yes, just let people know. Heading out to Sea Otter on Wednesday, doing the 2 laps of the gravel race on Friday, dropping by the TGIF ride on Saturday, 2 o'clock. I don't think I'll be doing the ride, but I'll be at the booth there. And Vic and I will be out and about all around and hope to see you out there. So let's get to it and bring in our friends some Grizzly Cycles. It's mixed around on the screen. That's Kevin on the left and Priscilla on the right. Do you guys want to switch spots so we're not confused here on the feed?
No, I'm Kevin. That's Priscilla.
Well, good evening. And, we always have a lot of stuff to talk about. I think mainly today we'll be talking about the Taco Bell Century. And I'll wait for a few more people to come in and ask. But, well, first, origin story. Whose idea was this? Where did this come from? Was it a good idea?
First off, not a good idea, but the best idea at the same time. So it wasn't originally our idea. I believe I saw it floating on the internet when State Bicycle Co. released the Taco Bell collab on their clunker, and someone threw the idea out there on the interwebs, and I ran with it, and I brought it to Bakersfield. So we're not the original thought creators of this ride, but we brought it to our region. So.
And Priscilla, where were you when you first heard this idea? Were you totally on top of it?
I think he sent me the video and was like, this sounds like a good, stupid idea. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. People love to do crazy stuff with us, and we wanted to test friendships, maybe.
Test relationships, friendships, stomachs.
Well, help me out here on the control. What is a stupid idea that you've done? So I kind of know where this ranks.
It's not necessary. I think this is the dumbest idea. This is up there. Everything else is just like, let's try and do something that's impossibly hard and see how many people we can get to do it with us. And I think this is on top of those ideas. Nothing's ever dumb. It's just not wise.
Yeah.
So.
I consider it growing up. I mean, sometimes we do things that we may regret, but maybe if we had never done them, we might regret them forever. So this could be a growth experience for everybody. I mean,
well, say this is the. Or go ahead.
Oh, I just mean like mentally, not from like a waistline perspective.
Oh yeah, but I will say this is the 5th one we're doing, and every time we've done one, we say we'll never do it again, and here we are.
Oh.
So
now, is this route the same as others, or did Taco Bell's close? Did you pick new ones out? Did you just say we have to do a different one each time?
So every route has been different. The first one we started was 10 Taco Bells, and that was just too many. And then it took too long. And then the second one, we narrowed it down to 5 Taco Bells, and we've been running it with 5 every one because that seems to be the perfect amount. And then the routes have all been different. I try and use different Taco Bells. There's 2 Taco Bells that generally are always on the route, but we try and mix it up to either change how we get to them or just find new ones or different ones that we haven't been to yet.
Well, we already have a comment here. You know, it's going to be good when we start saying, yeah, I know it's not a smart idea, but why not?
Pretty much how we live our life. That's how the shop started too. But
It's our business plan.
Yeah. Well, let me quickly bring up, if I can pull this off, bring up it's almost like Fight Club, the rules of Taco Bell Century. And I don't know if you can read them if they're big enough. But I'm sure it's something that you live. So and if anyone else has any questions on top, we'll throw them in here at the end. Okay. So number 1, follow the provided route and stop at each Taco Bell listed. So my question is, do you have to eat at every single Taco Bell?
we'll get there on the rules. It's in the rules.
Oh, it's deeper down. Okay.
Yeah.
Stop at each. Okay. 2, all food and beverages must come from Taco Bell. So you can't go into another store or liquor store if you just need some water or like a Coke or
Taco Bell's
something.
got water on their. Taco Bell has water on the dispenser.
Okay. So no leeway, I see. Okay, rule number 3. All beverages must be consumed from a Taco Bell cup. Now, does that mean you have to buy a cup before you hit the first stop, or is it okay to have one there?
I personally just don't bring anything until the first stop, and then
Okay.
just get a cup there, and I'm good to go.
Okay. Well, I think this is where we can kind of like give some people some life advice how to handle that. Because well, it's here we go, the Taco Bell talk. So whenever I go and I run errands in the neighborhood, I use my steel bike, and I've got 2 of the Roadrunner co-pilots, but I've
Yes.
learned that each co-pilot can handle different size cups. And you and I, we had exchange recently about the large size of the Taco Bell cup and how it seems to be shrinking every month. The large is kind of like what a smallish used to be 2 years ago.
This is.
Let's see, regular and large.
We did go to Taco Bell before the live.
We assumed that was going to happen. And after too, I'm sure the after party will be there after the show. But so it's strangely like I've got the bigger co-pilot, but that actually does not work as well with the new Taco Bell cups. You kind of want the smaller one. Am I right?
I personally use the larger Roadrunner. I think they call it the autopilot. I think is the bigger one, or is it the? Because the one size.
Well, I think for and we're really going to get into the weeds on this one because it's important. Because if you're out there and you can't use your Taco Bell cup efficiently, I think you're right, the autopilot. But I think the thing is for me, when I have the smaller cups, it's so large that the lid itself can sometimes detach because it's right there at the top of the holder. So that's why I think the co-pilot one is more the right size for the Taco Bell cups. If you're trying to go,
I feel
maybe
like the cup feels fits inside the autopilot all the way, because you kind of want to cinch it down over the lid and just have the straw out, because sometimes that lid pops off.
Yeah, I go full like time trial mode. I just cinch it over the lid and I just lean over to drink while I'm riding. So it
Interesting.
yeah, I've reached into my TT roots and drink while pedaling.
I guess the irony is this ride is on the 19th, and the next day, the 20th, which Roadrunner Bags have their 420 sale, will be a little bit late for that. Didn't think of
Yeah.
we didn't think that hard over that.
You'll want a new fresh one after it gets Baja blasted.
Yeah.
Do you?
Also, I wanted to do it on the 20th for obvious reasons, but I was told it's Easter that day as well, and so I wasn't sure if Taco Bell would be open because it's a holiday. So I was just like, I'm gonna be safe and do it on the Saturday.
Yeah, I don't think.
I guess I could Google it, but I didn't want to Google it and actually put work into it, so I just said I'll just do it on the 19th.
Okay, smart idea. I guess the Chick-fil-A century isn't taking place on the 20th either.
Yeah. Only Chick-fil-A on Sunday.
Yeah. Me too. Okay, so everyone, please do your own research on how you're going to do that. I mean, I guess, is it okay to fill your cup with water and then stick it in your water bottle?
So I will just say that I will not give anyone any grief if they have a water bottle, but there will be no grief given. All these rules are the spirit of the rules, but know that you will have an asterisk next to your Taco Bell Century if you don't follow them to a T.
You'll just get ultimate points if you carry your cup in your back pocket the whole time.
Yeah. Little story on that. Our good friend Nick, he rode it on a track bike last time with 28C Gravel Kings and had no water bottle cage or anything. His cup was just in his back pocket the entire time. It was pretty radical.
But it wasn't filled, right?
No, he just used the same cup from Taco Bell to Taco Bell.
Okay. It didn't break. Wow. Okay, that's quite an achievement. Yeah.
Quality.
Okay. Where's my thing?
Rule number 4.
Rule number 4. At least one item must be consumed from each Taco Bell location. Now, does that include this is a drink count as one item?
One item. So the original rules for the Taco Bell Century was you had to get a different item at each location, but I decided to you have to have it one item from each location.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe this is a good time to talk about this. We'll go a little bit deeper into the menu here. And
for the record, this is not sponsored by Taco Bell in any way.
Oh man, I heard it's been actually stock's been going up because against all the tariffs because of knowing that we're going to go do this. Do you have any suggestions for people who've never been to Taco Bell? What they should eat along the way if they need to eat solid food?
I personally don't like to eat the beef because my stomach gets upset. I'll just burp up beef all day. Beans, for obvious reasons, I try to stay away from. So I've been pretty solid when I stick to that chicken flatbread, no sauce, or the enchilada. I don't even know if they have it, but the chicken enchilada burrito, like a chicken and rice burrito, no sour cream. Those are nice on my stomach.
Okay, I might actually have to try and do that. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe some piece of potatoes.
Yeah, I would love it
at
if
the end of the day, cinnamon donuts.
Kevin, what's your food of choice?
So I usually will go with the classic bean burrito. And then I'll also go with the cheesy bean and rice burrito? I also will dabble in the Mexican pizza at one of the locations usually. Um, I go all in. I just eat what I normally eat at Taco Bell. It doesn't change for me. So I just I get whatever I'm feeling at the moment when I get to that Taco Bell. So
Wow, spur of the moment.
yeah.
Yeah, I think like I've been kind of on a kick with this new classic stacker, but Priscilla, I think you're
Solid
onto
choice.
something. Yeah, but
I
I
think I
think
had
like
that time, and it just that I remembered why I said no beef in the previous ones.
yeah, I think that's an issue. It's nice to have for a snack. I guess it sounds like a snack almost in its name. I wish they served breakfast all day because I love the breakfast. Um, but and you said you get the flatbread.
Yeah,
Okay, I like that too,
those
but
are really
I just I might do light sauce on that because I've been finding I had a nice couple week issue with the new Cantina chicken menu when it first came out. So not a big fan of all these new sauces they're throwing in.
Yeah, sometimes you just no sauce because there's just plenty of cheese. The sauce just makes it heavier than it needs to be.
Mhm. Oh, hey, Mikey. Make sure there's a toilet. Yeah, so that's kind of like a side question. Does this become an issue? Are there enough toilets for Taco Bell Century along the way?
I will say we've never had anyone crap their pants on the Taco Bell Century. So so take that info with how you will, but it has never happened.
Refer to number 6.
Yeah. There's another rule about that too.
Okay, well, let's get back to the menu here. Or number 5. Stops are limited to 20 minutes. Recommend ordering ahead with the Taco Bell app. I agree. That way you can also accumulate points and use them along the way.
One thing I'll say with the Taco Bell app, make sure you change your location to the next Taco Bell because she's done that where she ordered from the Taco Bell that we were just at,
Yeah.
and they won't do anything about it. So you just gotta eat it and order again. So
Oh, really? I've done that before, and they just don't process your order.
No, I
Oh,
ordered way ahead of time and then I got to the next one and I was like, "Where's my Taco Bell?" And I was like, "Oh, my bad."
you know
But
what? I take
luckily
it
it
back.
wasn't much.
I think if you do drive through, because they don't like typically make it until you get there in line.
yeah,
But I think like pickup orders, yes, you smart move. So maybe we could make a little warning and have a town crier out there on the course. So once we get there, we have 20 minutes to eat and go. Okay.
and I'm just putting that on there as kind of a rough like, hey, I'm only going to be there for 20 minutes because whenever say we have 15 people there, every person add 10, 15 minutes because they're going to order, get their food. So it just will make the day drag on if we don't have a set time limit for Taco Bell. Usually we end up having about an hour and a half of extra time versus riding time because of the stops. So I'm trying to limit that as much as we can.
So just who's asking me? But is this so we're riding together as a group? This is not a race.
Not a race. You could ride as a group. You could ride as fast as you want. You could ride as slow as you want. This is purely to inspire people to get off the couch and do something they wouldn't have normally done without the gimmick of the Taco Bell. So
I bet you there's some people that would say, I normally do this every weekend. I just go, we might find that one person. Okay.
I will say it's been really cool. We've had multiple people do their first century with it being the Taco Bell century, and they've never even thought about doing a century before, but they're out there on either fat bikes or just commuter bikes, not your traditional road bikes that you would think you'd want to take on a century.
Yeah. And we'll talk about bike choice a little bit later. Because I'm still working myself through that. Okay. Number 6.
We
We have
can
a
censor
sense
this if we need to.
Yeah, but please no relieving yourself inside yourself, I guess, is the best way. Uh, I don't know about the second part. If you do happen to do that, you have to start over. I don't know how you would enforce that. Like if you're like a mile 80, you have to go back to mile
Yeah, you got
0.
to start all over.
You get to this is like Monopoly. Go, do not pass go.
Back to start. Don't pass.
What type of sick
Again,
game
these
is
are all
this?
just the spirit of the rules.
Okay, I get it. So it'd be frowned upon. So people maybe
Yeah,
in the
I'm not
next
going to ride with you if you do.
yeah, maybe go visit a GI doctor before this week just to make sure that you don't fall on number 6 because yeah, it's like the game Sorry. You have to go all the way back to the front. Okay, number 7. These are not mandatory, but if you don't follow these rules, you might as well do a regular boring century. So I understand this. If you're not following the spirit of it all, then why do a Taco Bell century?
Yeah.
Well, simple enough. Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Number 8. Grizzly Cycles and its associates are not held responsible for your actions on this ride. God, I would hate if somebody would think they were. This is kind of a dumb idea, and you will probably regret doing it and never want to eat Taco Bell again. That is not our fault. You chose this. I think the language there is perfect. If people are not getting all that, then you should definitely not show up. It sounds easy, sounds like fun, but you really have to commit to this, don't you?
Yeah, this is a ride that it's not for everyone, but it is for everyone. So everyone is welcome, but some people just don't get it, and that's fine. That's fine. We're okay with that.
Okay, I'm gonna flip the switch really quickly. We are gonna go, if we can, do a little fly through of the route, and I noticed it's a little bit more than 100. It's 103 miles, but
Yeah, I tried to get it as to 100, but there was just I couldn't cut anything else out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so walk us through. We are starting out of the shop at 8:30. Is that correct?
I think so. Whatever the flyer says.
Okay, I'll go look at my side eye. And I wish I had kept the route up, but there's a good amount of dirt here along the way as well. But we're heading straight out, and I believe we've got our first Taco Bell about 8 miles in. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I try and keep the first one close because since one of the rules is it has to come from a Taco Bell cup. Keep it close so you don't necessarily need to drink a whole bottle of water before you get there.
Mm-hmm. And looks like there's just a little bit of dirt here, but other than that, we're pretty much on the road. Pretty flat. Most of the ride is flat except near the halfway part. But
yeah.
So anything special about this Taco Bell? Any specific memories?
This one was in Taco Bell Century number 1.
Yeah.
It's a Taco Bell that I was able to route to get us to 100 miles. It's kind of how all of these are. There's nothing special or spectacular about any of them, except for that they're Taco Bell.
So there's no historical landmark placard on it for Taco Bell.
There should be. There should be.
Okay, maybe there's a grace period until the state moves forward with that, but we'll keep an eye out.
Be careful for semis because there's a lot of semis in that area.
Yeah, it is next to a truck stop.
Okay, I see. Oh yeah. Okay.
Right off the freeway.
I see. So a lot of people come in here and then kind of go back. I see. They go around, but yeah, they're not welcome at Taco Bell. Okay, so this kind of feels like we're kind of like on the fringe of Bakersfield, and then I guess it gets pretty quiet pretty fast out here.
Yeah, we're headed towards Arvin.
Mm-hmm.
I did fix the route, so this little little leg right there is not going to be there. It's
okay. So we are kind of like
auto.
heading. And wait, what's this little town over here?
Is that Lamont?
I think so.
I believe that's Lamont.
Okay.
So we're just kind of skirting the outside of that.
And then we start making our way. Now it seems like we get pretty empty, pretty quiet out here. Is this a case where I know it shows we're riding on the road, but I know in some of the rides we've done, we've ridden on the side on the dirt. Is that kind of something we do?
Yeah,
here?
that's kind of the idea out here, but it's just if there's dirt on the side of the road, I'd recommend riding the dirt rather than the pavement, just because it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll kind of zigzag through some farm fields.
Mm-hmm. And then we are going into the heart of Arvin here. Yep. I've always been curious about all these.
We will see all of Arvin.
Well, it does date back. Does have like a little bit of history. I'm going to try and float that into the video, but yeah, it's interesting because like you don't see as many signs off of it because it's off the 99, but it's fairly. This is probably our biggest town city we're going through outside of Bakersfield on the loop, right?
Yeah.
I think it says like 20,000 people, so that's a good amount. I hope they're going to welcome us into their community. Parade?
Probably not, but well, we've ridden through there before a couple of times, so it's not too bad. Actually, in a former before I had the shop, I helped open up a community bike shop in Arvin, which was kind of fun. So I get to commute to Arvin daily.
Well, I've always wanted to go in. There's so many towns here that just don't get any mention, and I want to learn about. So this will clock another one off my list. So then we kind of get out of town. I know we kind of like just skirt the foothills here. Is this?
Yeah.
Where's Highway 58? Is this? This is not. It's further north, right?
We're way past 58 now.
Okay. Yeah, okay, can't see.
That's like. I'm trying to orientate myself where you're at.
I'm just looking for like I've heard that like Bear Mountain here is like the toughest climb, one of the toughest climbs in the country, but it's a private road. It's somewhere up in here. I think Phil Guyman was able to get permission. There's like a gun club in here. Maybe that's how you get your way through. And but I think the road is private. But if you have access, it'll probably be pretty easy to get in the top 10 lists since no one gets to ride it.
Not for me. I'd still be at the bottom.
So then we're skirting around, and man, it's a long ways between Taco Bell's here.
Yeah, so this I believe is one of the longer stretches between Taco Bells. So make sure you're prepared for. I think what is it? Is it 30 miles or 35?
Looks like it's a good 25 at least. And this is by the relatively new outlet center over here.
Yeah, the Tejon outlets at the base of the Grapevine.
Yeah, so people will recognize it if they've taken the 5 or to the 5 to the 99. And God, this place seems to be exploding. Aren't they opening up a Hard Rock Casino? Is this like over here?
It's either that building or the one over in the back. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, this is.
All I know is that the Taco Bell is right there.
I know there's a Jack in the Box further up on the hill, so I keep notes too. So then we kind of cut through the other side. We shun all the other fast food restaurants, and now we're here on the aqueduct. And this part looks pretty.
So we're gonna ride the California Aqueduct.
And have you ridden up on this road before?
I haven't ridden this portion of the aqueduct, but I've ridden plenty of the aqueduct in the past. We do a lot of bike packing stuff with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one side is paved, one side is dirt, and we're going to prefer to be on the gravel side. But yeah, I've talked to one of my buddies that works at the water plant down there, and he gave me some recon for this area. And it looks like there's one spot that we may have to just kind of wing it because the road looks like it's there, but it's not. So we might have to, we might have to just play it by ear when we get to a certain spot on the aqueduct.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
I
you said
know
this portion right there. I said the portion right there past the pipes is supposed to be a really, really wicked downhill that we're going to get to do.
Yeah, I know, like, it's whenever I drive on the freeway there, it just looks, the scale of it,
Sorry.
pretty, yeah. And even the ride with GPS we have there, it looks pretty, like 30% down. So maybe dropper post for that. But I'm sure we'll all wait and make sure everyone makes it safely.
Yeah, he said from what he told me, he said it's just a fire road, so it shouldn't be anything too technical, but it's just the fire road that connects the two parts of the pumping station.
And we're disqualified if we use any of this water, right?
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't use that water.
Oh, because it belongs to the state, right?
Yeah, it's illegal. You can fish in it.
I've seen people. Okay, so now we kind of like border the mountains here. And do we come close to Windwolves Preserve?
Yeah, Windwolves is just west of where we're gonna be.
Okay.
So like where we make that hard right, if you were to just keep going straight, you'd run into Windwolves.
Oh wow. Okay. That's on my.
And that hard right is the spot that I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. It's you have that hard right and keep going a little bit. Follow the route.
I see.
So right there where your arrow is, that's kind of the spot where I'm like, I don't really know what's going to happen. So we're going to just play it by ear right there.
Okay.
So it looks like.
I think there's some fences here.
So. Yeah, we might have to do some figuring stuff out there.
Well, if anyone has a chance to
we'll figure it out when we get out there.
Yeah. We're about mile 56, 57. If you take a look at the route and you happen to make it out there. And Chris Sanchez, I know you kind of like doing this stuff around here. So please, if you need to take some photos, please head out there. Yeah, this is another long stretch of no Taco Bell. And yeah, temperatures are starting to heat up a little bit. I don't know what they'll be like that far ahead. But yeah, this looks like another. Yeah, this might be the longest stretch of Taco Bell's. It's a little bit over 30 miles, I believe.
Yeah, this is the longest one, not the last one.
Now this one is. I mean, this is almost like a movie set. It's like a Taco Bell in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. This is our favorite Taco Bell. This one is one that's on every single route.
Are you like the only people that have ever been inside this Taco Bell?
No, it's on the Taft Highway. So it's like right at that roundabout is the intersection that goes like Taft into Bakersfield. It's off the 119. So it's pretty heavily used. There's a electric car charging station there.
Okay.
It's right on our bike path.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, I had a lot of questions about this, but I think only doing it is going to solve them all.
It's really not as out there as you think it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'd like
and
to
technically that one is also a gas station, so I get my ibuprofen there because Taco Bell slash
Yeah, so
Shell Station.
you could get anything there if you need to get a brewski, you need to get an energy drink. It's all attached to the same building, so there's an asterisk there. You're good.
Wow. Yeah, so I guess like wait a while to place your order for this one since it's going to take a little bit to get out there.
Yeah.
Okay, so from here we continue heading north, and then we're kind of making our way along the Kern River.
Yeah, so from that Taco Bell is we're on the Kern River Parkway, which is the bike path. And so we just basically take the bike path to this hard right, and then we take some dirt to bypass the bike path.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, just kind of head our way back into town.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen this on the 5, going by the racetrack, and all of a sudden see this bike path stick up out the middle of nowhere, and have always rubbernecked and try to figure out what that was a part of. But wow, so just take us in through West Bakersfield and then Taco Bell number 5. So if you do not stop at Taco Bell number 5, even though it's so close to the shop, you've not completed Taco Bell Century. Am I correct?
That is true. This is the Taco Bell that is the celebratory one. This is where we'll get you get your sweets. You get if they have the gelato, if they have the cinnamon twists, you just finish it off with a nice little dessert.
Didn't they just have what was the special churro they just had a limited time?
Was it strawberry?
Yes. I think it was a strawberry churro.
Okay. Okay, maybe something will change by then. Maybe they'll have like an Easter egg churro. Okay, now we do have something else to talk about, and that's probably like equipment choices. We already talked a little bit. We went hard on our debate on how we carry our drinks. I don't think there's a right answer. But what else, equipment-wise, are you suggesting people bring?
A bike.
Oh. Someone writing that down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lights, helmet.
Yeah, I heard lights because there has been times where we have finished in the dark. I think all of them we've actually finished in the dark.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, those stops just adds time. I think our normal ride time is like 8.5 hours, but our overall time is usually 11 to 12, just because of all the stopping that we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely bring lights. I don't know. It's like for me, I just kind of raw dog it. I just go in and bring my Taco Bell cup and my bike, and I just ride the whole thing. I bring a burrito bag so I can throw some emergency burritos in there in case I get hungry halfway in between Taco Bell stops. So I just kind of I stick to the spirit of the rules, so I'm very minimal.
Same. I'll probably grab a burrito for that 30-mile stretch, because eating that that frequently, like I'll eat something light and then grab something else for the road.
Mm-hmm. And well, you guys are the veterans, so I may have to follow your lead.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're worried about like, bring the normal stuff you bring on a ride. Bring your toolkit, bring your CO2, bring your pump, bring all that normal stuff. I think for me, the only thing that changes is I bring zero nutrition except for what I'm going to eat at Taco Bell. So I don't bring goos. I don't bring any of that stuff because I stick to I'm going to eat nothing but Taco Bell on this ride. But if you need that stuff, like I said, no one's going to dock you points because you had to have a goo or you had to take some sports legs or a pickle juice or something like that. We're not animals.
But they're just empty calories anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
What size tire? Do people really need to go fat on this ride, or because I know there is off-roading, but people that are unfamiliar, I know it's under 2,000 feet of climbing, but still use some places can be sandy. I don't know. What do you suggest?
I would say like minimum, just because of the gravel portions, I'd say like 40s. Just because on the aqueduct it can get kind of like rocky. It's got that pea gravel in a lot of spots, so too narrow will get you into trouble, but too fat could also just slow you down on all the pavement parts. I'll personally be running 27.5 by 2.6 mezcals. So I've done it on 2.8s. I've done it on 47s. Again, run with you brung. If you've been following our bike shop life, we have kind of a wrong bike on the right ride attitude. So we don't really. It doesn't matter what you bring. Just as long as you could pedal it for 100 miles, pedal it for 100 miles. So, Priscilla, what are you riding?
My Journeyer. But then also I might change it to the Bridgestone. Last year I did it on the cross country mountain bike.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad. It's kind of comfortable for 100 miles.
This will be the first one that I'm doing on a geared bike. All the other ones I've done have been single speed. So, but I'm opting for my geared bike this time just because I've done it. I've completed it 3 times on a single speed now. So,
yeah, I mean,
yeah, even though it's our 5th time, we don't always make it the whole way.
Yeah, 100%. The first one, we didn't know how long it was going to take, and I personally had a hard cutoff of like 4 p.m. and I got 60 or 65 miles in before we got home. The second one, I finished and she went home to take care of the kids. I think the third one, she finished because I went home to take care of the kids, and then we both finished the last one. So just do as much as you can. So that's our motto. Just mediocrity at its finest. What are you riding?
Good question. I mean, first of all, the bear grease that I purchased at this lovely shop here, I absolutely love this bike. Kind of reminds me of getting my first bike, be a little BMX bike as a kid. I just look for like excuses to go around the block, no matter how short to get on the bike. It's a lot of fun. But 100 miles on that bike is probably about 150 miles on any other bike. So that's, and it was interesting because like last weekend 2 weekends ago, I went out to Whittier and I did their gravel ride on that fat bike. And I was kind of sticking with the lead group on that bike. Mind you, there wasn't like a lot of heavy, paved straightaways. Otherwise it would have been dusted. But on the climbs and downhills, I did okay. My only issue with the bike, which has just been basically the grips. The grips are just a little harsh. And but everything else I love about that bike, and the grips are an easy issue to fix. But the other thing,
the P&W Loam XLs change your life.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and like say hello to a few booths at Sea Otter and see if they'll help me out there. But it's actually the biggest thing is not the distance. Oh, and I guess Vic will attest. I crashed it on that fat bike. Not and I'll do that ride again on that bike. It's a lot of fun. But I'm just it's more the positioning because I'm just not used to bars that wide and maybe just it being a little too flared out. So I just don't know like how I'll be able to do that for 11 hours.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my issue. But then if people saw the video I just did, I just put 40s on my Lauf. I can fit wider tires, so maybe I'll go back to that if I have time. And I've got 42s on my Niner right now. And I like my Niner too, but it doesn't have as much suspension. So I would like to go wider. The fat bike might be too wide. I imagine there will be people on this ride on fat bikes.
100%. There's going to be at least one or two people on fat bikes, so you won't be alone.
Yeah. Who's bringing them?
I know for sure Germ said he was bringing them, and then if Jonathan shows up, he'll be on his fat bike.
Maybe we can convince Jose to bring his fat bike.
Jose did it on his fat bike last time. There's a new gentleman that's riding with Germs named Tim. I guess he just got a Trek Harley, and he's supposed to be coming. So sounds like we might have a good fat bike crew coming out to this one.
Okay, I'll consider that. I'll see.
One question on your fat bike: have you flipped your back tire?
No.
You should.
Yeah, I should do that. It's interesting because I just this year I've learned how to actually go tubeless, or change tubeless tires. But this one I'm super intimidated by because it's so huge.
It doesn't need a lot of PSI.
Yeah,
Go slow.
But like, is it hard to seed or?
No. If you got a compressor, you'll be fine.
Okay. That's kind of my issue. But I tell you though, it does kind of make even with that sound, it does make that really cool. It sounds like the Batmobile in the Christopher Nolan ones, just when I'm going through, and that's a pretty awesome sound. And I'm going down the street, and people's heads turn, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" It does have a nice feel, but I'm wondering how much of a difference reversing the tread to the normal tread on the rear tire would make.
So the one that you test drove from my buddy Zach, he flipped his tire. And he said he was averaging about a mile per hour faster on his rides than he was with it flipped around.
Huh? Interesting.
So the drag difference was night and day, is what he said.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
I mean, you're really good at swapping tires the night before a race.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm sure Vic would love to chime in on that. I had, today I was putting these new tires on, and then the first tire was able to get on right, and then the second tire, I was getting a blister on my finger. I couldn't do it, and I just decided to try the other side, and then that worked. But then I accidentally unscrewed the wrong part of the valve and had to start completely all over. I just was like, I almost canceled everything for the next 3 weeks. I was so angry. But yeah, I've got these lovely 50s and 55s that I could throw on the Lauf, and I would love to get one of the newer Niners that has a bigger, more clearance, but that's a little wait and see right now. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Did the last one on 26.
That's Nick.
Okay.
So it's 26 is not 28. But that's even better.
Uh-huh. So I'm saying you've done it on 28s before?
No, Nick did it on 26s. I thought he did it on 28s.
Okay.
And we went through some deep sands.
Yeah, this stuff. Like I got, and he was on a one single brake, single speed, engine 11 like track bike, set up freewheel, and there were some things I saw him go down where I just didn't want to be behind him because I didn't want to see the crash. But he pulled it off every single time. I'm not really sure how it happened, but he made it work.
And explain this to me. Be prepared to frisbee affects Mexican pizza at the Fisherman's Loose Dogs along the aqueduct. So going back to asking the things we should bring along. Should we bring along extra food to protect our lives?
Maybe. I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but that story was we did a bike packing trip on the aqueduct, and one of the dogs that lives like in one of the properties out by Taft, pretty much chased us for a good mile down the aqueduct until it just gave up. And you don't have to be the fastest, just don't be the slowest. So,
Yeah, I was wearing my gravel sandals and I got bit on the foot about a month ago out in Ventura. So
you're okay?
I'm yeah, thanks for asking. On the
Scary.
inside.
I wear sandals too.
Yeah.
So what footwear will you be wearing? Sandals or shoes?
As much as I would love to wear sandals, I think shoes would be a little bit more practical for this. It's a century, it's a long ride, especially if you get sweaty in the sandals. It can get muddy really quickly underneath there, which makes it pretty squishy. Yeah. Maybe I'll bring both and just kind of switch along the way. But I just figure regular shoes, and if there is even a slight threat of dogs, maybe this time wearing shoes is a better option. Then it can just bite me on the ankle.
Yeah, especially towards Arvin.
Mm-hmm. And do I have any? If anyone else has any more questions, please throw them in there of what you should do, what you should know. If we're starting at 8:30, there's plenty of parking there around Grizzly Cycles. Temps seem to be pretty good, but it doesn't get super cold at night pretty quickly, does it?
No. It's gonna stay pretty consistent. I haven't looked at the weather yet, but it's been warming up. So yeah. I would say prepare for it to be on the warmer side because it's Bakersfield in April, but not deathly hot yet. So it's just
okay.
I almost just fell out of my stool.
That means you have to start all the way over again, right?
Yeah.
Boom. All right. Well, I think we know mostly everything we need to know. Everyone just has to start getting ready. Yeah, I may start preparing for it. And bring my fat bike on this trip up to Sea Otter and coming back a couple days before, so it doesn't give me too much time to prep in between. So that maybe the fat bike may be a go-to bike. We'll see. But I'm pretty excited to see how this all unfolds.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Like I said, every time we've done it, we've said we're never going to do it again, and this is number 5. So that'll tell you something. Don't take it too seriously, but at the same time, we're riding 100 miles, so it's a fun ride, but it's a real ride. We're not just riding to the park around the corner. So come out with the intentions of doing 103 miles, but at a more social pace than you would maybe in your traditional Peloton group rides.
Have the route downloaded.
Yeah, I will say download the route. I think you linked it on the Gravel Bike California page somewhere. It's on our website too.
Yeah, I have it in the description of this video down below and the blog post. So hopefully everyone can find it there. But yeah.
Also, I'll say the real-time conversation is we have our Discord server. So we have a thread dedicated just to this ride. So if you have any questions, and jump on there. There's people already talking about it. It's gonna be fun. So come out and do some dumb stuff on a bike with us.
It's not that dumb. Yeah. All right. Well, Kevin, Priscilla, thank you so much for joining. And yeah, we've got 12 days away. So What a big month this is.
Well, if I don't see you before, then I'll see you then.
True. All right. Take care.
See ya.